Hello and welcome to everyone. This is one of very entertaining topics. When I wonder, should MMA media members have prior fighting experience? Well, this is so complex topic, and I can discuss this all day long, guys. Because let's be honest, I mean, this discussion could go all day long, and media members. Sometimes it's good, actually. Sometimes it's bad. But when we want to discuss this topic, we must take a completely different approach. You got, according to my thoughts, you got two types of MMA journalists. You got the guys like James Lynch, like John Hyun-ko, like Ryan Jarrell, who are always ready to learn and always ready to march forward and to showcase their skills, to work, to work on themselves, on their working ethics, and also they are ready to respect everybody. Majority of them are ready to respect everybody, to show everybody a sign of support, and to teach, and to be constructive. You have constructive MMA journalists. For example, in that case, hello, Andre. In that case, for example, in case of James Lynch, absolutely prior fighting experience is not needed. For example, James said that he trained hockey, that he grew up playing hockey, so he knows what's contact sport, he knows what's MMA media, and he knows, he understands the topic, even when he does the commentary, that's actually good. From that side, from that aspect of view, I agree. It's a little disrespectful when media members talk trash to fighters when they have no experience. Yeah, that's true. But for example, you have guys like James Lynch, John Hyun-ko, Ryan Jarrell. They are awesome. They respect everybody. And despite some of them have never fought, I mean, they are respectful. They are very respectful, and they are ready to learn. They are ready to share their thoughts, and they are ready, they are ready to improve. They are ready to build up. And on the other side, Ariel Helwani is a good example because Ariel Helwani doesn't want to create enemies. That's good. I mean, when he had an interview with Justin Jr., Shmo called him out, and Ariel just said that he doesn't need enemies, which is like, if Shmo called me out, I would say, come on, let's fight. But I would never grapple him, for example, because I'm not a grappler. But if he wants MMA, I would accept, because I don't like such guys calling me out. For example, guys like Shmo, for example, who knows nothing, who literally knows nothing on striking. He challenges people, which is it is absurd, man. For example, people got mad at Jojo Diaz for missing weight when she had no sauna, no gym. All she had was his room and a heater. Yeah, I know. People get mad, and MMA media members, they crucify you, man. They crucify you, and they don't have fighting experience. And such media members are toxic. You have good media members like James Lynch and the guys I mentioned, and you have toxic media members. I'm talking about toxic media members. They are terrible. Could have possibly killed himself if he tried cutting 4 pounds without sauna. Yes, man, that's true. Cutting 4 pounds without sauna is impossible. I fought, and I know how it looks like. I was never able to cut more than, for example, 10 pounds. I couldn't, because that's my body, 10, 12 was my maximum. Yeah, thank you, man. But I'm respectful, as well, as you have noticed. Sometimes I make a joke, for example, but if fighter talks negatively, then I make a joke, For example, if fighter is too negative towards others, I can make a joke, but I will never disrespect, which is okay, and people who know nothing about fighting and talking trash, that is not good, There are many people, for example, Middle Easy editor, she knows nothing about fighting, and there is another problem. What happens when some guys cover multiple sports? That's another problem. Let me ask you a question. How could I cover ice hockey? I have never played ice hockey. I don't even, I know to skate, but I don't know to hold the stick. I don't know to shoot. I don't know to block shots. How could I be an ice hockey media member? Makes no sense, right? And I like to watch it from time to time, but I don't have that kind of knowledge. I mean, I have great MMA knowledge, but I don't have good hockey knowledge, for example. And you have many people who cover multiple sports, and they are, great writers because, that would be fun. But I don't know to cover ice hockey because I don't know, I'm not a good skater. That's number one. Number two, I don't know to shoot. I know nothing about the game. I know maybe I know you have 3/3, and that's basically it. I know you have a goalkeeper, a winger, a center, and that's it. That's basically all I know about hockey. And how could I cover hockey? It makes no sense, right? I don't follow hockey since 1993. Amateur fighters, so they can at least experience what fighters go through at Fight Ariel Helvani. Yeah, that's outstanding, Adolf. But yeah, they should have been at least amateur fighters. I competed at Taekwondo, I competed at kickboxing, and I know what it means to eat shots to the head, I know what it means, but people don't know that, and some, for example, media member, for example, she comes and says, listen, this is not good because that and that website said it's not good. You have people in media members, now I'm telling from my own experience, you have people who don't know to make a difference between submission switch and the German suplex. And let me ask you a question. How could such a person be a media member? It makes no sense, right? You got two types of writers, according to my thoughts. You got technical writers, just like me. I'm a technical writer. My specialty is technical part. And you got writers who make stories. I mean, there are writers who make stories, and they are good in making stories. If they are respectful, that is okay. For example, that guy, I mean, his life story, his other guy's life story, trash talk, like Dan Raphael, he's disrespectful. He would never dare to get in ring. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of media members are out of shape, though. Yeah, great quote, Craig. I definitely agree with this Craig Stanley's quote. Yeah. Dan Raphael is very disrespectful, for example. And when I would challenge him to go into the ring, he would duck me. For example, me, I don't say I'm a good fighter. I'm a good striker, but I don't know to wrestle. I'm not the greatest BJJ fighter in the world. I know to wrestle. Stephen A. Smith needs to get in the ring. Yeah, many media members should get in the ring for being disrespectful. I agree, man. Many media members are very, very disrespectful. Probably. I probably would. I know who is that guy, but he is only talking, I would never talk trash. I mean, I can joke around Conor, I was joking about horse sounds because I was sure that Poirier is going to knock him out. And I understand that, but this was a joke. But I would never tell such rubbish, It's so disrespectful. I mean, have you ever heard me in my interview asking negative questions, asking disrespectful questions? I'm aware that fighters hate it. And on the other side, media members who know many sports, that's terrible, man. That's very, very terrible. I understand that you must work many jobs. I mean, I understand it. Majority of us works 2+ jobs, just like me. I'm working 2 jobs. I think that's okay, I think that's okay. Working 2 jobs, you got to pay your bills, and that's all okay. But what happens if people cover multiple sports? That is terribly not good. For example, let me tell you my example. The guy I work for currently, I had a confrontation with his editor. I even had a situation where I said, listen, either it's going to be your stupid bitch, either it's going to be me. So I don't care. You must make a mistake. You must make a choice. I even stopped the stream. He was like, why are you doing this? Why? I said, listen, she is not going to correct my color commentary when she knows nothing on fighting. And she was not right, She was definitely not right. And there are some stuff normal media members would never tolerate, like, for example, such things. I would never tolerate such things. For example, I'm trying to get better. I'm listening to Rogan, Hennig, all color commentators. I especially like listening to Felder. Felder, people say that Felder is, that his commentary is so-so, but when it comes to technical part, I learned a lot of new stuff from Paul Felder. But of course, Joe Rogan is the father of color commentary. His color commentary is very, very good, and he explains every position very well, And I'm a color guy. And for example, the editor says, you didn't say that because, and she doesn't have arguments, but she had to tell something, And I got sick. I just said, okay, I'm not going to do it. You do it. I'm not needed. You don't need me. Why would I do it? I mean, if you know everything, if you're the smartest ass in the world, why would I do it? And on the other side, she was covering multiple sports. Yes, at least in other martial arts. It doesn't have to be MMA, but for example, at least, I don't know, jiu-jitsu, grappling, wrestling, taekwondo, kickboxing, Muay Thai, at least amateur fights in some other, hello, Ryan, at least some martial arts experience, at least 3 fights, but in other disciplines. It doesn't have to be MMA, man, but you must feel it. You must feel the sport, man. I mean, how could I do color commentary if I knew nothing on striking, for example? It's impossible. I mean, I had that situation. I had that situation where MMA media members, where that stupid editor was telling me that I'm not right and I was right. So I said, okay, I'm not gonna write. I don't care. And then luckily my boss was normal and he chose me. And she's not telling anything anymore. But I had a situation where I had to do it. Jan or Sterling, I'm going to go with Jan on that fight. You got the video. I released that video, I believe, 3 or 4 months ago. Go and go with Jan. But in general, talking about media members, also to say Sterling can submit him, but that's the only way for Sterling to win. About Jan, I think Jan wins that one, unless Sterling submits him. But in general, in MMA media, they should have at least a bit of amateur experience. But on the other side, you got guys like James Lynch who are top professionals. He grew up playing hockey. This is also good. For me, that's okay. That's absolutely okay because the guy understands. He understands the problematics. He understands how everything works, and he is an excellent journalist. He's not. He is not a guy who sits on your throat because you're under him, or he is not disrespectful. That is good. I mean, but there are not many guys like James Lynch, like John Cole, like Ryan Jarrell. They are very, very respectful. You got some guys who are climbing on their fucking high horses, man. You got so many guys doing that, for example, because they are very, very big journalists. That is not good. Stay down to earth, man, and respect everybody. It's not hard. Hockey has a lot of contact too. It's a tough sport, kind of. Yeah, I think hockey is very much. Very much harder than MMA in some aspects of the game. I also asked Julian LeBlanc in an interview, and he told me that hockey has some advantages while MMA has some other pieces of advantage. So I definitely agree when it comes to that aspect of the game. So hockey has a lot of contact, and somebody who played hockey can easily be MMA media member because he knows boxing. That's a good start. Okay, you don't have kicking in hockey, but you have holding, you have boxing. So he is a master of clinch and he is a master of boxing. So why not? You can learn BJJ. You can learn to commentate BJJ. You can learn to commentate wrestling. For example, I have never been a wrestler, but I have BJJ experience. But on the other side, I've never competed in BJJ. I competed in Taekwondo. I competed in kickboxing. But I understand how everything works. For example, yeah, I love watching hockey fights. Me too, man. Me too. But unfortunately, hockey is different right now. There is not that much fighting like it used to be. I liked old school hockey, man. A good friend of mine is a die-hard hockey fan, and hockey is different now, but old school hockey, man. Old school hockey, it was outstanding. Old school hockey was like, whoa. I liked it, especially back in 1990s, in 2000s. We didn't have much of a hockey here, but I enjoyed, man. Whenever I watch a fight, I was enjoying it. It was like great, but unfortunately they changed the rules now, and hockey is not what it used to be. Sometimes there were 3 or 4 fights. Sometimes there were fighters who fought 3 or 4 times on the match. 2, 3, I don't remember. I think 3 fights per match was I think red card. Don't remember right now. I'm not hockey expert, so please. But there were 3 or 4 or 5 fights per match, and it was awesome, man. I also liked watching hockey fights. I really enjoyed. But right now, that's good. For example, I think that is very, very good example. James Lynch is a good example. But on the other side, there are many MMA media members who know nothing about fighting, and they think their writings are the best in the world. And if he or she is your editor, you're fucked up, believe me. You're going to start color commentary, and she's going to say, no, this is not okay because it's poor grammar. They're always going to ask for excuse, and these are toxic MMA members. And when you say to them, okay, why don't you show me? Why don't you fight me? Or such things, they are going to say, no, I am your superior. Hiding behind superior. That's the worst thing a media member can do. And there are many media members who are ready to do that. Stephen A. Smith knows nothing. Same with Helvani. Well, that's true, man. They don't know to fight. But on the other side, Ariel Helvani doesn't want to create enemies. And that is okay. That is absolutely okay. I mean, he created a great career and so on. But the problem is, if your superior is a toxic person, that's a big problem. Because if you have a superior who shows constructive criticism, that's good. Because right now, I only had once such kind of a superior, and she was like, okay, I have never fought in my life, but we need to talk. Please explain me, teach me. I was like, okay, that's okay. I mean, you accept, and that is okay. She said, listen, I know nothing about it, but okay, you must improve this, I'm going to improve this, and we are going to be in the middle, and if we meet in the middle, that is good. That is actually good. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith is very disrespectful, but if I call him out, he will duck, just like he ducks everybody. He has no courage to get inside the ring. And that's the easiest thing to do. For example, I think Shmo is a bit disrespectful also. But if you have noticed, his striking is so bad. He's slow as a slot. Yes, that's true, man. He's very, very slow. And my striking is super quick, I'm very quick when it comes to striking, but my wrestling is terrible, but my BJJ is okay. Let's say so, but never competed in BJJ, so I don't think it's good. I'm just realistic, but my striking is very good. Oh, how are you, leg ups? How are you, man? Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. If you have toxic superior, that's terrible. That's very, very terrible. And toxic media members, I would have a rule for toxic media members. If you're toxic, you must fight, man. You must fight. At least 3 amateur fights if you're a toxic guy. Come on, fight. Show the world why you are so toxic. Show the world why you are so brave on your words. Why you are so brave with your words, man. Show the world. The world should see. And you should feel it. And everybody can write everything. Everybody can, write it because it brings views. Fine. Okay. How's it going? I like the jumper. Well, thank you, man. Thank you so much. Well, it's going nice, It's going like, well, oh, hello, Oleg. How are you, man? It's going pretty much fair right now. Yeah, thank you so much. But I'm talking about the toxic media members. If somebody is toxic, then I would say, okay, you cannot keep your job if you don't fight. At least do an amateur fight. You must feel it, man. You must feel how it looks like. To eat shots, to eat punches. You must feel why are you so disrespectful. Are you going to be disrespectful again? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. For example, if somebody destroys Shmo, I think he will never be so disrespectful ever again. I think he will never be so disrespectful. And the fact I like about Ariel Helvani is because when a fighter asks for interview again, Ariel Helvani is very ready to do another interview, and this is good. This is actually good because he's there for the fighters. That's another positive side. Good, trying to ignore toxics. Yeah, that's true, Alec. Do MMA media members train? Well, Laura Sanko competed. She has one professional fight, I believe. And as much as I know, majority of MMA media members don't train, but some of them do. For example, Ryan Jarrell trains boxing. For example, Laura Sanko is a professional, is a former fighter. I don't know about Megan O'Leary. I don't know whether she trained or not. I'm not sure about Megan O'Leary, but she is doing a great job. Also, she is doing a great job. For example, all right, DC, like Michael Bisping, that's a different dimension, man. DC, Michael Bisping, that's different dimension. They were professional fighters, and that's awesome. That's really awesome. I'm just talking about toxic media members who write for magazines. That's what I'm talking about. Toxic media members who write for magazines. They should train. They should fight. Just let them fight. Or let Shmo fight with a guy who knows to strike. What is he going to do? I mean, let's be honest. What's he going to do? He's very slow. He might drag you to the ground, and that's basically it. But he's very slow, man. There are many guys. in MMA media world who are so disrespectful. And for example, if media member is very respectful, I would say, okay, you don't have to train. I mean, okay, you know to do your job, you are not disrespectful, you don't have to train. For example, Susan Singari is a good example. She is BKFC journalist at the moment. She was MMA, but she switched to BKFC due to a better contract. So let's see now. So right now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which fight is it going to go. Ne znam koja sledeća za Martija. So right now, when we discuss, ovo je MMA media member diskusija, tako da pričam o tome sad. So let's see. In media member world, I'm going to say that MMA media members, you got two kinds of people. There are toxic people, there are non-toxic people. There are people who understand fighting, there are people who don't understand fighting. You need to make a difference, you know? You need to make a difference between two of them. Yeah, the schmuck can wrestle, but that's basically all he can. But can he fight? Can he fight? Can he strike? I don't know, but he challenged Ariel Helwani to something where he's good at. And if he's good at grappling, he challenged Ariel Helwani to grapple. But he can wrestle. He's very big guy. He's strong. He's very big. But I was wondering if Ariel Helwani fights him in an MMA fight. Well, that would be fun. That would be very, very fun. The Schmoke has experience with cutting weight and everything. We can respect him. Yeah, we can respect him. I agree. He has experience, and that's awesome. But for example, I know that there are some media members who got no experience with it. For example, I can say from my own example that cutting weight is super hard. It's, believe me, super hard. Cutting 5 kilos, cutting like 12 pounds. I know it's hard. I mean, man, cutting 11 pounds. I don't know. It's so hard. Helwani needs to stay on the couch. He cannot fight. Huh? I don't know, man. I don't know about Helwani, but he is, according to my thoughts, Helwani is a good journalist. I think he's a good journalist. He is a good host, and he is respectful in many cases. All right, he made a mess when it comes to Gilbert Burns and that situation in welterweight division when he was talking to Daniel Cormier about the situation in welterweight division. That was kind of disrespectful because Gilbert was unable to fight because of COVID. But I mean, everybody can make a mistake, but that is one mistake, man. Ariel Helwani is journalist like 20 years, so it's okay to me. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, Ariel Helwani is doing a great job also with MMA Hour, with such things. Also, Luke Thomas is on Showtime. I mean, honestly, I don't know much about Luke Thomas. I think he is doing a good job, but I don't know much about him. I listen to him on many occasions, but I don't know much about him. Never seen Luke Thomas insulting people, so I can't comment about that. Maybe DC could train Helwani. Well, maybe. You never know. DC could train Helwani. Maybe. DC is one of the best wrestlers in the world, for me at least. At least he could learn to wrestle. Yeah, Luke is very respectful. I told you, I have never heard Luke telling negative stuff about people, you know, so I can't say he is respectful or disrespectful. I just say I have never heard him telling like something like that, and that is actually good. That is actually very, very good. He even has his own page on Wikipedia. Then we have Ariel Helwani having a page on Wikipedia. But if you ask me, the most open-minded guy in the world of MMA media is James Lynch. Also, guy I also respect a lot is Mike Bone. You know, Mike Bone, he worked for MMA Junkie. I don't know where is he now, but he worked for MMA Junkie. But when you give, for example, when you give a woman to write about MMA, this is also good. But there are many disrespectful women. For example, Middle Easy editor is very disrespectful, and she is a woman, but she is super disrespectful. For example, if she doesn't like a fighter and you like a fighter, she is going to sit on your throat, and she is going. And for her, for example, everything she says is perfect, and everything someone else says is not good because that and that website wrote differently. But you have some bad editors, you have some good editors. But for example, James Lynch is an amazing example of an open-minded person, of a person who constantly grows, who constantly works on his skills and such things. But if you ask me, James Lynch shouldn't progress anymore because he's already doing a great job. But that's not what he thinks. He thinks he should progress every single day. That is okay. I mean, you can invest into equipment, you can invest into your skills. I'm not American, and that makes a problem for me in MMA media because people believe that, many of these outlets believe, oh, he cannot do a good job, he is like this, or they offer less money, or they say, listen, you are not from the US, from the UK, we can't accept you, and such things. And when I started doing live commentary, I got some offers, later. I really got some offers to work for outlets. I asked how much money, and they offered something, 15 days for free, this for free. I say, listen, go screw yourself. My boss is paying me. I mean, why would I work for free? Only idiot works for free. And now we can discuss some other aspects of the game. Can you cover multiple sports when it comes to MMA media? That's a hard question. And now I'm going to discuss about whether it's possible to cover multiple sports. If you want to cover multiple sports, I have one piece of advice for you. Covering multiple sports is okay if and only if, but if and only if sports are close. But I'm saying close like in the aspect of I'm saying close because, for example, I want to say that close sports mean, for example, MMA and boxing. You can combine MMA and boxing. For example, if you're an MMA journalist, you can try to go with boxing. I don't say you shouldn't. It's going to be easier for you. I mean, there is a lot of boxing in MMA. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Of course, you can cover multiple sports if you are well versed, if you follow them on a regular basis, if you're doing a good job with that. Yes, you can do it. But what is the point right now? The point is that I want to pinpoint to you that you must be very, very cautious. What is the problem? When I started doing boxing live commentary, it was so hard for me. For example, in MMA, you can shoot in, you can drag the opponent to the ground, you can be on the cage and such things. And I was having super hard issues in the beginning of my live commentary career because, it's hard to cover boxing because I got used to fence. I got used to shooting in, dragging the fight to the ground, takedowns, submissions. And right off the bat, you have a situation where you mustn't, but you literally mustn't. This is not a joke. You got a situation where you literally mustn't talk about taking the fight to the ground. I had to think, I had to train, man. And on the other side, I will tell you one thing, boxing fans are way more toxic than MMA fans. So, for example, when I do boxing commentary, I block at least 5 guys. At least 5 guys. When I do MMA commentary, sometimes I block nobody. I mean, they got used to me, and they got used to me. They know what am I doing. They know what am I doing. Majority of them, 95% of MMA guys, of MMA fans are very respectful. But boxing fans, I have to block at least 5 people per one live stream when we discuss boxing, but I mean boxing live commentary. And they are very much, I don't say they are disrespectful, but they don't understand rules, either they want to bully you for super small things, and that's the problem. Boxing fans are very toxic compared to MMA fans. Of course, you have toxic MMA fans too. I mean, let's be honest, there are, but not that much. It's sad seeing how many careers have been ruined because of lockdown. Yeah, man, that is absolutely true. Many careers were ruined because of lockdown. Just like talking about many guys, many fighters, and also many media members. You can't travel now. You don't see incomes. You don't get money. You got to be the best guy on the top. And I would have never been so active on YouTube if there wasn't for a lockdown. But I want to stay within the topic. When I parted ways with Middle Easy, I got right now I have a guy who pays me for boxing live commentary, for MMA live commentary, but I want to say that the point is you must stay consistent. If you're not consistent, that's going to be hard. For example, combining MMA and hockey would be hard. I don't say it's impossible. I mean, it is. All right, if you trained hockey earlier, if you transition to MMA, it would be hard. But for example, covering hockey and boxing would not be that hard because in the earlier stages of hockey, you had fights. And this was mostly boxing. So like hockey and boxing, hockey and Muay Thai, it looks okay. You just need to learn knees. You just need to learn low kicks and such things. So why not, man? It would be very, very much easy. It would be very, very much easy to cover. These are my thoughts. It would be very, very easy to cover such sports. But for example, covering wrestling and boxing, well, that's not going to go easily. If you're MMA media member, color commentator, you might cover all of them, but you would have a hard time, because you are an all-rounder. But you have guys covering soccer, covering basketball, and covering MMA. Does it make sense to you? And of course, the editor is the most intelligent person on the planet Earth. He knows everything from every single sport. Does it make sense to you? Not for me. Man, I really wish Holland versus Muradov would have happened. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I agree about that fight. Absolutely agree about that fight. Absolutely. I wish that. Unfortunately, yeah, we'll see what's next for Muradov, man. I don't know what's next for Muradov, but we will see. But the point is, I wanna say that MMA media members should really have at least a bit of amateur fighting experience. At least they should have trained martial art. So what? You have somebody who covers 10 sports, and he is the smartest ass on the planet Earth for all 10 sports. Does it make sense? No. To me, no. How can you be the smartest in soccer, basketball, baseball, volleyball, and MMA? 5 sports. How? Just tell me how. So what are you, like, I don't know, is your IQ 200? Because my IQ is not 200. You got to be specialized in some aspect of the game. And if you get criticized by people who know nothing about sport, this is toxic. This is very toxic, For example, that's how I do, for example. Somebody starts criticizing, for example, starts insulting or so, I just block. I mean, you can insult me all day long. I just block another profile, block another. I can block all day long. For example, in Serbia, where I live, there are something called Balkan trolls. And Balkan Peninsula trolls are, believe me, the worst on the planet Earth. Because you know why? First of all, they're going to tell you that you are not going to succeed. They're going to spam your inbox. They're going to spam you on chat. They're going to be so boring that you can't even imagine. And when you do something, they're going to beg you, come on, we made a mistake. Can you help us get some free links and such things? As soon as somebody asks for a free link, I block him because I don't break rules. But in Balkan Peninsula, they can't understand me because they got used to that. And as soon as somebody asks for that, I just press block button. And you can beg me all day long. That's not going to work. But that's, they got used to different stuff. And in Balkan Peninsula, everybody is the wisest on the planet Earth. I mean, not everywhere, but in Balkan Peninsula, it's a specific, it's a specific surround. And everybody thinks he is the smartest on the planet Earth. So here it's very, very hard to succeed. But when you climb on top, they're going to insult you while you are down. And as you ascend, they are going to insult. And when you start becoming like top 5, top 3, they're going to say, oh, we want to be your friends. Oh, we love you. You are the best. You're so. But you know what they want? They want to use you. They want to be your friends because they need something. Because they are with somebody famous. Does it make sense to you, man? Being with somebody famous? Nah, to me, it makes no sense. Nobody cares here about what you've been through. What you've been through to achieve your success. Everybody sees the final outcome. And that's the problem here, But in the Western world, it's okay. They are letting you progress. They are letting you learn. You can have a good mentor, which is also good. You have some people who can really, really learn you, for example. But for example, I had a situation here when a guy was insulting me. I had an interview with one fighter from Serbia, and he was insulting me in comments, and of course I blocked him. Then he started begging me on Instagram to unblock him because he didn't know that I have such great names like Gilbert Burns. He mentioned David Dvorak and such guys. And I was reading messages, I was rolling out of laughing, because they are very much narrow-minded, And when he saw some big names, he was like, "Oh man, I made a mistake. Can you please unblock me?" Of course, I cannot unblock you. I mean, if you're watching this will never happen. Unblocking will never happen because if somebody is blocked, he's blocked for a reason, and he is blocked for life. For me, there is no timeout and such things. I'm not down for it. But in general, I want to say, MMA media members should learn every single day. You should learn, like James Lynch. That's okay. I think James Lynch is doing an amazing job. But James is saying, okay, maybe I'm doing a good job, but I need to learn. I need to be better. I need to get better. And I definitely agree about that. Yes, man, you need to get better, but you already invested a lot of money into getting better. You already learned a lot. You are way, way better now, and you are doing a wonderful, wonderful job. And that's good. For example, you also have MMA hosts. I also believe they are doing a great job because, for example, Chris, Mystic Moss, he told me, listen, we are just sitting on the couch, fans. And that's also fair. I mean, you are entertaining the crowd. That's awesome. I mean, for me, that's awesome. They are very honest, very honorable. I mean, they talk all kinds of fun stuff. They talk all kinds of shit, but they at least say, this is who we are. We are MMA hosts. This is who we are. And these guys, they deserve nothing but respect, if you ask me. They are, for example, they are very respectful towards me. I think it's hard to be expert in MMA, boxing, and wrestling at the same time. Because I don't understand MMA, soccer, football experts who can analyze all of it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too. I can't be expert for example, MMA, soccer, football at the same time. No, I can't be. I also don't understand it. I like to watch soccer. I like to watch football like a casual fan, I can watch it. I know about soccer reffing, I'm a soccer referee, so I know about it, but I don't know tactics. I don't know, for example, I don't know positions. I don't know such things. I only know rules, but I could have never been soccer analyst. There's no way I could have been soccer analyst. But there are guys who believe they can be both MMA and soccer analysts, and I'm like, come on. I mean, come on, guys. That's impossible. That's really impossible, man. And for me, at least, that's impossible. You can't cover multiple sports at the same time and be an expert in like 10 sports. All right, 2 sports, okay, if they have something in common, I agree you can. But I will always be better in MMA than boxing. I'm learning about boxing, but I will never be as good as I will never be better in boxing than in MMA, but because my heart belongs to MMA. I follow MMA since 1993. I was following boxing from time to time. From time to time, I was following. But my father is a diehard fan of boxing. I mean, he knows boxing better than me. And I don't afraid of that. But you will have multiple situations where some idiot who is your superior is going to say, oh, listen, I'm your superior and I know every single sport better. And this is a great terrain for confrontation. You are going to argue. And why you need toxic people in your life? Why would you argue toxic people? It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense to me, yeah. And it's very, very hard to be expert in all aspects of the game. It's very, very hard to be an expert in every single sport. It's impossible, man. It's impossible. I mean, like, I've seen guys who claim they are experts in like 5 sports. It's impossible. Okay, NFL and MMA, they have something in common. American football, MMA. Okay, you can cover both of them. I've seen people covering both of them very, very well. For example, covering baseball and MMA, for me, it's impossible to combine, if you ask me. And for example, you got people covering WWE and MMA. It's also not similar because I don't know to cover WWE. I'll be honest. I don't know to cover it because, first of all, it's fake. I mean, it's all staged. I don't know comment. I'm not good with wrestling. I'm not good with wrestling. That's number one. Number two, I don't know to commentate that. I don't know all kinds of throws and such things because some WWE throws are not allowed in MMA. Some moves are not allowed in MMA. And how could I combine that? It would be hard for me. I mean, maybe it's possible, but you need you need to stay focused. I've seen people covering both of these sports, and okay, if they can do it, that's good. That's positive for them. But I could have never do it. I could have never done it, man. This would be too hard experience for me. This would be too critical experience for me. I would have a very, very hard day in the office covering all of them. And yes, I would never say that I can be expert in all of them. But for example, I was interviewing MMA fighters, and through the interviews, I've learned that if you know a lot about it, fighters are going to respect you. Like for example, when I had yesterday interview with Leonardo Damiani. Leonardo Damiani told me, he said, Vlad, you're awesome. I mean, you're asking great questions. I mean, people always ask me, what's next for you? Like, who do you train with? What's going to happen? And such stuff. And you know technical questions. You know technical answers. I mean, I was like, okay, man, but that's my job. That's my job. My job is to know technical approach. My job is to know technical approach. My job is to be technical. And I wanted to be technical. Since the early stages of my career, I wanted to be technical. But it's okay, because you're going to get more respect from fighters if you're technical. That's number one. And if you don't insult them, it also brings more respect. For example, Megan Penning, she told me, listen, you are one of rare journalists who respect my time and who asks me normal questions. Because, people like to provoke her because of her photos, and I don't do it. I don't care, man. I mean, I didn't invite her for a date. I invited her for an interview. And why would I ask such questions? It makes no sense. And people are making a big mistake, because it's a very thin line between a date and a question. And for me, no, it's a job. I mean, it's a job I really and honestly like, and you should respect everybody's time. For example, if somebody tells you, I've got 15 minutes, that means you've got 15 minutes. If you want to roll forward and he doesn't have time, don't continue. Respect his time. Never mind, man. Just respect his time. I know you're all under pressure. That's why I don't work for companies. They are pressuring you, pressuring, and they are constantly unhappy. And when you say, listen, go screw yourself, I don't want to be with you, I don't want to have anything with you ever again, they start begging. And then when you return, they continue doing the same. Oh, hello, pay-per-view. So I'm telling media members should really have at least amateur experience if they trash. If they trash talk, I would say, okay, then go fight, see how it looks like. But if they are respectful, then there's no need for that. They are already experts at their jobs. And pay-per-view Diesel, Dom Jones, it would be great. Yeah, right now I'm talking about media members. I'm just talking whether media members should have a previous fighting experience. And I believe it's good to have fighting experience, but it's not a must-have. I believe they should have, but it's not must-have fighting experience. You don't have to be a professional fighter. You can be an amateur fighter, but if you have no fighting experience and insult fighters, I would say, okay, step inside the ring with me. Let's see. Step inside the ring with me. Okay, I fought. I can get bettered. I got no problem with that. Okay, but I know how it is to eat strikes to the face. I know how it is, and I've got no problem with that. John Morgan versus the Schmo. Yeah, man. I definitely agree about that one. Schmo knows to wrestle. But, for example, I don't know to wrestle. I know a bit to BJJ, but I know to strike. But at least I know something. And you got many members, many MMA media members who talk trash, and they don't even know to clench a fist properly. You see? I at least know to clench a fist. I know to hold a guard. I know to cover up. I know to land. You see? I know to land. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. There are many people who don't know how to do that. And they talk trash about fighters. Media rather criticize fighters than get in the ring. That's true. They only criticize. And when fighter does something, they praise fighters. Why? Because of clicks. And when a toxic media member starts criticizing, I would bring the rule, man. Yeah, they can shut up. I would bring the rule. Listen, you wanna trash talk fighters? Fine. You are going to fight another trash talking media members. Let's see. Let's see how good you are. Yeah, me too, man. I'm very much hyped for the next week's card. This weekend I will cover, but the next weekend I will have to skip MMA because of my job, and then I'm getting back into the normal track because I have some trip next week, but I will also only cover boxing. I will let you know everything, but. This weekend I'm here with you. I'm covering MMA. I'm covering MMA this weekend, so no worries. I will announce everything. But you know which rule I would bring? Okay, you're talking trash. Fine, man, you're talking trash. That's outstanding. Fight another media member, another toxic media member, and let's see who's more toxic. You can talk. Let's settle the misunderstandings. Put the gloves on. Put the protectors on if you got no courage to fight without protectors. Put protectors on. Put the gloves on. Let's fight. I mean, there are many guys in that MMA media world that would have a hard time with me. I can't defeat everybody, absolutely. I mean, you have guys who are very skillful with BJJ, with wrestling. Yes, but for example, if somebody who constantly talks and knows nothing on fighting steps inside the ring with me, how long would he last? What do you think? How long would he last? I mean, let's be honest, how long would he last if he knows nothing about fighting and he only trash talks? He would last maybe, I'm a counter puncher, so I would wait probably, but not more than a minute or two. If he knows nothing on fighting, if he knows to fight, that's a different story. Maybe I would get better, but I'm talking about toxic guys who only talk trash. That's a problem. That's a big problem of MMA media world. On the other side, Dan Rafael would quit after you jab him. You think so? Many people say that, you know, at least 5 or 6 people told me that he would quit. One right hook, he would cry. I'm left-handed, just to know. My right hook is not the best in the world. I'm left-handed. My special punch is left hook. But okay. Okay, if he cries from a right hook, it means he can't take a beating. You have many media members who are so toxic and they don't know how to fight. So that's actually a big problem. I believe that's a big problem of MMA media world, just to know. That's a really, really big problem. Because just like if the media kept talking shit about Canelo when he's arguably the greatest. Yes, I know, man. I know, but they can't stop it. If you hit him with a calf kick, he will just lay on the ground. Yeah, actually, my right calf kick is good. I'm left-handed, you know, so my right calf kick is very good. But my left calf kick, I don't know it very well, but my right calf kick is very good. Yeah, but honestly, that's what I'm talking. You should fight Ariel Helwani. That would be fun, man. But you know, I'm talking about here, Zakaria. I'm just talking the toxic MMA media members should fight another toxic MMA media member. That should be good, you know. They should learn what's the fighting all about. It's easy to have a PC and eat shit. Everybody can do it. Can you step inside the ring and take a beating? I would gladly accept that. If some media member is toxic and he wants to roll with me, I would gladly accept it because I'm not toxic. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is Usman's punch resistance declining? That's an interesting question. He is very good at surviving the storm. I think he can take a beating. I think he can take a lot of shots. I actually think Usman's chin is very, very good. If you're asking me about Gilbert fight, his chin showed outstanding performance. His chin was outstanding in the fight against Gilbert. So when it comes to eating shots, Usman is one of the best, absolutely. I didn't think his chin is so strong, but after this fight, there is proof that it is one of the best chins. Usman's jab, though, yeah, his jab is outstanding. He rocked Gilbert with the jab. I was like, what the heck? I don't know how it's in Europe or USA, but in Russia, sometimes hard to get pro fight. Now situation changed, but before we had only unofficial illegal links for young amateur fighters. Well, it depends from state to state. In my country is also the same. You are right, Oleg. In my country is also the same. It's very, very hard to get a fight. But in my country, I don't know in USA how it is. Hey, Andre, can you reply to Oleg's comment, please? See what Oleg wrote. Can you please reply to that? He was rocked bad. It was very smart not to let Gilbert get up. Yeah, that's true. Like Morning Combat, the most toxic in the game, and that Luke Thomas so toxic. Well, I don't know about. I haven't watched Morning Combat that much. That's the problem, man. Haven't watched Morning Combat that much, but every time I was watching Luke Thomas, he was okay to me. So, but the point is, I don't watch Morning Combat too much. I don't think Usman was rocked. He got off balance. I actually think he was after that weaving. I think he was rocked after that weaving, but he survived the storm. Yeah, man, Stefan Struve retired. I know. I've seen that. You wrote me in the comment section, and thank you for letting me know, man. I was a big fan of Stefan Struve earlier. It's easy to get fights in the USA. I didn't know that. In my state, it's kind of hard to get a fight, man. It's not easy. I mean, even for the amateur fights, it's not easy. He got rocked, then recollected. Yeah, he got rocked, but he recovered, man. He recovered. Yeah, I know about Struve, and I've been a big fan of Stefan Struve, man. I still am a big fan of Stefan Struve, but something was terribly wrong. Something was terribly wrong in his last fight. I've seen that's not Stefan Struve I've got used to look, and also against Marcos Rogerio de Lima, something was terribly wrong, and I was wondering what happened to Struve. Yeah, I've seen the tweet, man. Seen the tweet. Yeah, I know. Inner ear. You know, when you hurt your inner ear, it's very hard to recover. So recovering inner ear is never easy, man. It's pretty much never easy. And luckily today I don't have much work, so I'm hanging around with my fans, and yeah, it's actually a good way to have fun and to spend. Ty beat the mess out of him. That's true, man. But after eating that right hand, you know, I've noticed that something is wrong with Stefan Struve after eating that right hand. Yeah, with 1 second on the clock, though. Yeah, I know. I've seen that he ate a brutal shot, and that's true. But it would be good to see Toxic Member fighting Toxic Member, man. That would be good. Every punch that's true. He got drained from. That's true, man. Every single punch, man. That's absolutely true. Oh, thank you, Zakaria. Thank you so much. Thank you, Zakaria. But the point is that if we discuss toxicity in MMA world, well, if toxic guys would get bettered, I believe they would have never been so toxic again. That's what I think. I think toxicity depends on the ability. I think they last for so long period of time because they don't get hit. It was better than James Vick's career. Pa da, pričam sad, neki moraju da imaju, neki ne moraju, to pričam. Pričam da toksični bi trebalo da osete kako kad se dobiju batine, ovi što su normalni, da oni ne moraju da imaju. Recimo, James Lynch je dobar primer. On je odličan journalist. But yeah, it was better than James Vick's career. Yeah, that's true. James Vick got better than five occasions. I mean, 5 losses in a row. So that's true, man. That's true. I'm watching from work. Thank you, Zakaria. Thank you so much. I'm glad you can watch from work. So I'm very, very glad that you can watch from work. I'm glad that something works in the UK. Da, treneri su drugo nešto. Mislim, treneri su drugi topik, naravno da moraju, mislim. A ovi MMA media su gadni. Well, true, Until Israel Adesanya, he sucks, then he crawls to your area in the media room and kills you. Yeah, makes sense. Pa da ti kažem, novinari ne moraju, znaš šta je onda problem? Problem je kad novinari i kad media memberi postanu toksični, znaš, to je problem. Ja mislim da bi takvima trebalo uvesti pravilo da moraš da imaš jednu tuču, da shvatiš onda kako to izgleda, znaš. I to je onda, imaš dve grupacije, znaš, imaš ove što poštuju sve, oni ne moraju. Uzor. The best journalist for me is like best journalist James Lynch, Mike Bond, Ryan Jarrell, John Hyun Ko, Ariel Helwani, top 5. I might place bet on Polish Power. Well, if you want to go for the upset, go for Polish Power. It's good when you can get pro fight. You don't need to fight on sand without a time limit. Maybe you saw that street promotions where you fight on sand ring. Yeah, Strelka. Is this Strelka, man? Are you talking about Strelka? I've only seen Strelka. They fight on sand. So we will see. Yeah, about Blaković. Da, ja se slažem za Blakovića. Ja mislim, ja sam rekao ne izija, ali može da ga iznenadi. I think Blachowicz can pull an upset. Yeah, that's Strelka. Actually, I've seen Strelka. I've seen many high quality fights in Strelka. So I think Strelka is actually a great promotion. A great promotion to start your own fighting journey. So yeah, I also think Blachowicz is going to win unless Adesanya runs around the circle. Adesanya can stay away from fighting. I'm worried about that. Yeah. Pa vidiš, to jeste problem protiv Adesanya. Ti ako ideš napred, on ti trčka u krug. Znaš, to je problem. I think Blachowicz can win. True, I'm his number one fan since KOTR kickboxing days. I really don't like his chances. I also don't like his chances against Polish Power. Yeah, if he cuts the angles, you're right. Pa da, trebamo preseći ugao, to nije lako. Nije lako to protiv Adesanya, ali jeste, Blachowicz is stronger guy. I agree that Blachowicz is way stronger guy. And Blachowicz weighs around I think 100, 105 kilos in the off season. He's like so strong. And Izzy is like 195 normal weight. It's like 195 is his normal weight. So Blachowicz is way, way stronger. But we will see, man. Maybe Izzy will visit his gym. Maybe he will work on something. As a diehard Izzy fan, I'm telling that Izzy can win if and only if he stays away from fighting like he did against Yoel Romero. So that's the only way to defeat Blachowicz. But Blachowicz is not disinterested Romero. Blachowicz is a completely different type of a fighter, guys. And yeah, I definitely agree about that. And about MMA media members, if they are really good at their job and if they are very, very respectful, they don't need to have fighting experience. But if they are toxic, let them fight. Put the gloves on and fight. Let's see how it goes. Blachowicz. I kind of agree. Who would I pick? Either it's going to be a Adesanya decision, either Blachowicz stoppage. I agree with that 100%. Either it's going to be a Adesanya decision, either it's going to be Blachowicz via stoppage. But yeah. If Blachowicz wins, it's gonna have to be a stoppage. BKFC with Morgan, Izzy can't stop it. BKFC. We will see, man. Izzy can stop it. Jan doesn't really have chin. Well, I think Jan is stronger. If both fighters are 205ers, that would be a different world. But Jan, I don't know, man. Thiago Mareta Santos put Jan Blachowicz to sleep. He put Jan Blachowicz to sleep. On the other side, Israel Adesanya got better in that kickboxing, and he only got knocked out by Pereira. I think Andre Pereira knocked him out. He is the only guy who knocked out Israel Adesanya. Izzy can check right hooks, be deadly. Strelka can compete everyone who wants. Your opponent can have no experience or can be pro. It's Russian roulette. Yeah, it's Russian roulette, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. Your opponent doesn't have to get experience. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely true. Your opponent doesn't have to have experience. He finished Whittaker and Costa with the same right hook. That is true, man. Yeah, he finished with the same right hook. Pa da, nisu. Pa da ti kažem, mnogo znači. Drugo je kad ti izletiš iz flyweighta u bantamweight. Šta je to? To ti je 3,5 kila. Ovo, that's hard. It's very, very hard, man. So yeah, he finished with the same kind of a right hook, but we will see. We will see, man. Izzy would have to weigh around 215 pounds, and it's going to be very, very fun to watch, man. It's going to be very, very fun to watch. Yeah, but which is Izzy's walking weight is around 195, man. So I can't even imagine about that. Znam. Izzy is like 190, 195 is his walking weight, and this guy is stronger, man. Very stronger. Izzy has to put on some muscles, and it's never going to be an easy job. Made it 2 times. Yes, I know, man. I know, but his walking weight is not like 220 like Costa's walking weight. That's what I'm talking about. Easy might be 205.1 or 204. Yeah, but he doesn't have to cut weight. The other side, when Blachowicz recovers from weight loss, he's gonna weigh like 220, 225. When he recovers from weight loss, it's gonna be 222. Thank you. 222. It's like a big guy, a big powerful guy. So yeah, it's gonna be a big powerful guy. All right. I have to get back to work now. Sorry, guys. I have some web designs right now. My hour is slipping away. So, being 1 hour with my fans. Thank you so much for this lovely discussion, guys. And please share your thoughts in comments. Should MMA media members have a fighting experience? My final thoughts is, if you are toxic, you should definitely fight another toxic media members. If you're not toxic, then go for it. Learn, work on yourself, get better and better like James Lynch does. And that's going to be outstanding. Važi, pozdrav, brat. Yeah, they should. Have a great day, guys. I must get back to work. Goodbye.